Hello, we're the Sunday Morning Knitters. I'm Melanie from Connecticut.
And I'm Chelsea from Michigan.
And you can find me on Instagram as Melanie Matos _ and on Ravelry as TheNewGirlKnits.
And I'm on Ravelry and Instagram as chelmarca.
Woo! So, do you want to get started this week with what you've been working on?
Yeah, so I guess it's just been one thing mostly, and I haven't really knit on it as much as I would like to. But I got to a point in my knitting where I didn't really want to work on anything. I know that sounds awful because I think I was so upset with my sweater and how it was fitting that I just I got in a funk.
Yeah.
So do you ever get in that mood where you're in a funk?
Yes. It's so funny because I do anything possible to avoid working on the project, but then I stop for a minute. I'll go on Instagram or something and I see everyone else knitting. So I'm like, oh, I should get knitting again. And then as soon as I go to pick up my needles, I'm like, I can't. Yeah. I just can't.
So what I'm knitting on is my Tecumseh by Caitlyn Hunter. I was going to call her Rachel Hunter. I don't know where that was coming from. So I've actually finished the body. Yeah. So I'm down. So I think last I had just separated for the arms and I was about here. So I put a good amount in. And then I also have about this much left on my arm. So I have to go, I think, one more inch before I start the ribbing on this arm. And this only took me a couple hours to do.
I was going to say, for not knitting, you made a lot of progress.
Yeah. Yeah, I tried it on, though, and I'm just, so unhappy with the way it fits on me.
Yeah.
I think it does fit. I think people that are a little, I don't know, it looks better on people that are a little thinner. In my personal feelings. It's oversized, so it hides some good areas and whatnot, but, I don't know, I put it on and I feel like it's a tent on me.
I think
Oh,
go ahead.
I don't know. I was just saying, I think that's what's kind of stopping me, too, is that, I'm not 100% on the fit of it. And that's why I've never made her, Swancho before, because I was I know that fit of the Swancho is just, it doesn't flatter my body shape.
I know, she's definitely, that seems to be, a common theme across all of her patterns is, super, super oversized, a crazy amount of positive ease. Mm-hmm. But I think if you block it, try it on, you never know.
I will. I mean, I'm this far. I'm going to finish it, obviously. And the colors, I know the rose pink is Malabrigo and the Valatina, and the rusty color, I think it's actually Glazed Pecan by Madeline Tosh.
Such a good color.
And yeah, it's so cool. I love a whole sweater in that color. And then the silver gray, I'm not quite sure what it's called. It might be Turn, but that's a guess.
Is that also Madeline Tosh?
The gray and the brown are both Madeline Tosh. Yeah, so it is what it is. We'll see. If not, I'll be gifting it to someone because
yeah,
that's what I do. Leah's still on me about giving her the cardigan.
Oh.
When she was, she was here last week, she wore it the whole weekend.
The whole weekend, oh my goodness.
So, yeah, it's okay, can I give away an expensive sweater that I knit?
I know.
But if I'm not wearing it, at least it'll get, worn. So I guess I have to look at that way.
I feel like I have to have a mourning period before I can think about giving it away. Because I'm one, I know how much time I put into this, and two, I know how much this yarn costs, so it needs
And it was my first garment that I've ever really made.
Oh,
so
that's special.
So that's the second thing, yeah. So I guess I know from I went for 10 inches of positive ease, I think, with this size. I wouldn't do that again. I think with any sweater, I wouldn't do 10 inches.
Yeah. I think
so you live, you learn.
So I knit the worsted boxy, and it was supposed to have the same thing. I think 10 or 12 inches of positive ease, and I'm that I just can't deal with that. So I went down a couple sizes, and I think I went down a needle size too, something like that, just to kind of balance it out. And I still ended up with 8 inches, and it's huge. It's you sit down and it feels like you're wearing a blanket, which is great.
Yeah.
But it's also overwhelming amounts of excess fabric, and especially knitting something, if it's fingering weight it might be better, but knitting something worsted weight, that's so heavy as a sweater. It's crazy.
Super. Because I can only imagine I have this and I'm oh, this is DK. You're thinking, holy cow.
Yeah.
But And that's the thing. Like, if anything, I could just wear it around the house if I'm not happy or, with it wearing it out.
Very true.
Yeah. But we'll see. I'll have it done. I would say I'll shoot for tonight.
Ooh, girl.
Yeah, I'm going to go for it.
I love it.
So, I mean, all I said was, I was going out to eat tonight, getting some sushi, but after that, I have the night to myself and I can just knit away.
Yeah, might as well. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's so exciting.
So that's my one and only real work in progress. I have a couple other things, but I can show that after you get done showing what you're working on.
Ooh. So I was working last week on my boyfriend's sweater, and at that point, I think I'd just been working on it for about a week. So I went back to my project page and I realized I cast this on like the first Tuesday of September. So I really wasn't working on it that long. So I powered through the sleeves over the course of the week, and got that done. And I'm actually at like the very end of this project. So I'm just tacking down the collar right now. And I've got, I don't know, maybe 80, or not 80, maybe like 60 stitches left that I have to tack down. And then the last thing I have to do is just make the I-cord, to kind of pull through here. It's got like these little eyelets, so it's going to be something that he can cinch if he wants.
Oh, wow.
But I got the sleeves done. And I made him try it on 1,000 times because he's got really long arms. I'm like, You better stand up and try this on because I don't want to hear it later that it's not the right fit. So I was able to do that. So I'm definitely going to finish this when we're done podcasting and make him wear it like all evening.
What kind of wool or what kind of yarn did you use?
So I decided to go with Cascade Eco just because it's a little bit thicker. The original pattern called for like worsted weight, like Cascade 220, but I don't know. I just feel like it would have made too thin of a sweater for like the design that it was. Mm-hmm. So I just upped the yarn. It's an Aran weight. It still isn't that thick, so it wasn't like too much of a jump. And then I knit the smaller of the two sizes that he was in between, and it's fitting him perfectly. So that was a good guess.
This was going to sound really weird, but when we were having our virtual knit night the other night, and I got to see Ruben, because I hadn't seen him since last Rhinebeck, but I don't even know if I want to say this, but because it's so weird. But he has like the same exact body shape as my boyfriend.
And we were talking about how they like all the same things too.
yeah. Like I think if you stood them right next to each other and they would be this, like they have the same exact bodies.
That is so funny.
It's really strange.
How tall
Ruben
is he?
might have 6 foot.
Same with Ruben.
Yeah, and like
so
they
funny.
have like the same like muscles and stuff. I was like, that is so strange. I was like looking, like I don't know. It'd be so weird to have them next to each other and like kind of compare like their height and like their build. I was like, it was weird.
You gotta bring him to Rhinebeck next year. So
he would go. He would be totally down. I think I could get him there for a day of Rhinebeck, and then the second day he would probably go like hiking on trails.
See, it's a win because there's a lot of good hiking in that area.
So he would definitely be for it.
That's so funny.
He'd probably, if he could get work off, he would even come this year, but there's no way he could get work off.
Yeah, it's too close. I know.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. I swear, like, it has to be probably from their jobs too, because Ruben's like constantly is using like arms and like shoulders, so he's got this like crazy like overly bulky top, and then it kind of like narrows in a little bit, and it cracks me up because it's all work. Like I know what he does all day long, and I'm like, okay, you're literally working out like just this one area.
Yeah,
that's so funny.
That's so funny. Yeah, that's so funny. So are you working on anything else besides Ruben's sweater?
No, that's all I've been focusing on. Well, I wanted to finish my sweater before the 23rd when I have my work trip, so I was like, okay, I'll just, power through, and I, like, surpassed my goal, which is good. So now I have this week free to work on something random, which is kind of exciting.
That's very exciting. I was going to show you next, which is kind of funny because I shouldn't even be showing this because it's so ridiculous, but... You know how last week you were like, oh my gosh, you just cast on like the cast on and that was it for your socks?
Yes.
The second set. Well, I knit a little bit. See, it does help.
Yay!
So there's a little bit going on there.
Oh, you're on the second color. Okay.
I'm on the second color. So, I mean, in no time, like another month, I'll have the other sock done.
Yes.
So that's exciting. And I still have yet to find his first pair of socks that I ever knit him. And I said, you're not getting these until we find those.
Oh, so he's got some time to find them then.
Yep, I'm holding it over his head. I'm like, yep, you're not getting them until. So.
Yeah.
So there's that. And then that's really my only, like, works in progress that I'm currently working on. But I also have this that it's been working on for years now, which it's going to be hard to show on here, but it's because it's large. What I've done before, like the crochet blankets became popular and the little mitered square mini skein blankets became popular, I started on this using up scraps. I did the 10-stitch blanket.
Oh, I remember that pattern.
Yeah, so you start in the middle, wherever the middle is, somewhere in there. And so then you just go around and around using, I think it's short rows back and forth, or wraps and turns for the corners.
Uh-huh.
So, I mean, it's gigantic. And I stopped because I was getting bored, first of all, and then I started my granny square blanket.
Right.
So I started using the minis on that, but so I really did just stop in the middle of a row.
No, in the middle.
Like, well, not a row, but
I see what you mean, yeah.
Yeah. And I just, like, left my needle on and broke the yarn from the yarn ball.
So are you using the yarn balls now for the granny square blanket?
Well, I already went through the one yarn ball. That was, like, it was probably this big.
Uh-huh.
And I already went through that one, and the one I showed you on the first episode was actually the second yarn ball that I've used.
Okay. Yeah, that's right, yeah.
So, yeah, so, I mean, and you can tell that, like, the yarns I start using, like, towards the ends are, like, more independent yarn dyers.
Yeah.
Like, you can just tell by the way they're dyeing and stuff like that. Yeah, some of them are, I think probably Regia and just more, hand dye, but I don't know. I love it. It's big enough to be a blanket, but I'm like, why stop? Right. I can keep going and pick up when I want to. So
exactly.
It was fun too, but I ended up it started off. I didn't start with 10 stitches. I know that for a fact. I started off with, I don't know, maybe 20.
Uh-huh.
Maybe 25. But I am probably because I forget to decrease sometimes when I get to the edge. I don't know where my edge is, but I'm at, let me see. I'm probably at like 30 something.
It's gross.
So you can tell like these stripes here, like right in here, are so much wider
than the original ones.
Than the ones when I started.
Oh. I love it, though. It adds to, like, the quilty look of it, though. It's so cute.
Yeah. It's very, like, Ron Weasley.
Yes. Oh, my gosh, it totally is. Like, super patchwork, like, hand-me-down in the best kind of way.
Mm-hmm. And it's, like, super stretchy and soft and comfy. Like, I think this will almost be more comfortable to lay under than the crochet blanket.
Yeah. I agree. Plus, you don't have, like, the holes that are, like, the staple of the crochet look anyways. So that's good.
Yeah, so that'll be a forever work in progress. But between those two, that's really it.
I know. We've been good. Yeah. We've been focusing on just, like, Rhinebeck projects, essentially. Yeah,
and I thought more about my mom's Tecumseh, or Tecumseh, or Tecumseh.
I think it's
because I think one of the podcasts, the girls from Michigan, we have a Tecumseh, Michigan.
Uh-huh.
And so it's spelled the same.
So, but you say Tecumseh for the town?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've always heard...
like, I can't get it straight in my head.
It's confusing because I've heard, like, William Tecumseh Sherman, so that's where I always hear it. It's like Civil War, but then I'm like, I'm sure it's pronounced differently because he was named after, or like they took his name after a Native American. So I'm like, okay, that's probably not the actual, pronunciation of it. And that's so funny when you guys say Tecumseh.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure. I'm not sure, but like it like boggles my mind all the time. Do you have any FOs to show?
No, I was trying to finish this before we podcasted because I'm like, oh, I'll show it as an FO, but then it worked out because then I wouldn't have had anything that I was working on. So next week, I'm sure I'll have maybe it's something else because I want to cast on I have this worsted weight shawl. It's the Batula pattern by Melody Hoffman. I wanted to cast on for that and just try to knit that this week because I feel like it should go pretty fast, especially because I've just been knitting sweaters for the last month and a half. So something that's not a sweater is probably more exciting right now.
Yeah. Well, and that's what I was going to say was that, like, I was going to say that I don't think I'm going to knit my mom the Tecumseh anymore, or Tecumseh.
Oh, no.
I think it's going to be one of those one and done ones.
Yeah.
So I need to find a DK pattern, something that she would like. She was talking about she wants a cardigan with pockets and she wants it oversized.
Oh, okay.
So
I mean,
that's what she wants. And we were going through Ravelry and I was like, what about this? And she was like, no, what about this? No, what about this? No. And so I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah. What about the throwback cardigan that Drea Mowry just released? Like, I don't know if that has pockets. But you could probably add them.
Yeah, she wants, like, comfy, like, wear with, like, leggings and, like, an oversized shirt type of, you know what I mean? Something, like, almost, like, just real loose and comfortable.
Yeah. More like a tunic length, like, throw over anything.
Yeah. Yeah, and I was like, why are pockets a must? Like, what are you planning to put in your pockets? Right.
Yeah.
I was like...
I know. I don't know about you, but knitted pockets I don't trust because I feel like they're not enforced enough, so I never put anything in them. Like, even on store-bought cardigans, I won't do it.
I don't know, but, well, I mean, I'll find something. There's got to be something out there that she'll like, but... And the thing that I'm working with, too, is I have 5 skeins of Madeline Tosh, that blue colorway. Mm-hmm. And it's 225 yards a piece. So it's only a little bit over 1,000 yards. Yeah. Mind you, my mom's about a 36-inch bust, but so she's small. Yeah. But I'll be able to, I don't know. I can always throw in another color with it. Maybe find us something, you know.
Yeah, that's true.
Or there's, you know, anyone has any input, it'd be greatly appreciated because she's really picky. So I was going to ask you, what is on your Rhinebeck shopping list? Like, what sweaters are you planning on purchasing? Like, what yarns through what sweaters, I guess?
Yes. I've started to compile it, and it's funny because I keep the list on my phone, so, like, anytime I'm scrolling through Instagram, I just, like, randomly type something in. And then right now, it seems like I want to knit cardigans, which I normally don't like knitting. I'm all like pullovers. But I was talking to you, I want to look for yarn for the Veronica cardigan, which is like super oversized, kind of more like a shawl with holes in it style like pattern. But it looks so cozy. I'm like, okay, I can wear that like at the office if I'm freezing. Yeah. So I want to look for that. And then I think the Rose cardigan by Drea Mowry, I might actually look for because it's so cute.
I love that one.
Yeah. I don't
know if it's just because I love her. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, she's like so perfect that I just want to be like her.
I look at her pictures and like, I will never look that cute in pictures, but I want to knit everything because she just makes it look so adorable. Like, yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, but I love the Rose cardigan. Like, I thought, yeah. Yeah.
Is that on your list as well, or what do you have on your list?
On I have 2 that I'm looking for, but I was thinking the Storm Mountain by Heidi Kiermaier.
Okay. I feel like I've seen that one before.
Yeah, it's relatively popular. And then I have I'm going to say this wrong. It's called the OA, just OA.
Oh, okay.
It's by Kate Davies. It's obviously, it's the one that's like all over stranded work, and it has a hood to it. And I think in her sample it's white and like navy, and then it has like red around the trim of like the hood. It's so cute.
Oh my gosh. So you're on like a stranded color work kick.
Yeah. And then there's one more that's another stranded, all over stranded, and it's called the Brandlhow. by Natasha, I guess.
Okay.
And it's her sample. It's beautiful, and even the arms have color work. But I think I would omit the color work from the arms and just do solid arms.
Okay.
So you guys will have to check it out because it's so cute.
Yes. Oh my gosh. We'll have to put links in the notes at the end of the show so that everyone can see.
And I would like to find another pattern, like an oversized cardigan for myself too. I think. Yeah. Like a big cardi.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like I have maybe 2 cardigans that I've ever knit that I actually wear. So I'm definitely like, I get what you're saying. Like, I want to find a good pattern that I can just knit. Maybe something that doesn't even have a button band, because I feel like that's always my downfall. Like, I just don't want to knit the button band or find buttons for it. So I don't know. It'll be a mission. Oh, and I know we talked about this, I think it was last week. I want to find yarn to do like a DK weight brioche hat, just to give brioche a try. So that's I
wonder if brioche in the round is more difficult than flat brioche.
That's a good question. I have no clue. I've never even like watched a video on how to.
Me either. Because like I said, I don't want to take the time to learn when I can be knitting something else. Right. That's my whole outlook.
Yeah. I totally agree, because it's like the amount of time I'll spend trying to learn it, like, I could have knit, I don't know, 2 hats in that amount of time, so we'll see. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm trying to think of if there's anything else. I'm going to try to stay away from buying, like, a lot of one skein, like, just one skeins.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, that's what we're all always drawn to, but I'll give myself maybe 2 or less.
Yeah.
2 a day.
Yeah, 2 a day. Yes, I like that. But it's
2 every hour.
I know. That's probably more like it. Oh my gosh. The thing is, like, it's so easy to plan stuff out, and then when you get there, you see things in person, and then it like, I feel like the plan goes out the door. Like, that's what happens for me. Like, I had a list last year, and I didn't shop off that list at all. And I ended up I bought the yarn for the Squancho, which was a good purchase, because then I knit that, like, right after Rhinebeck. But I bought some, like, random sock skeins and stuff, and I love it, but it's not what I plan to get.
I have 2 singles. It's single ply by Primrose. Mm-hmm. And I got, like, this, it's a beautiful, like, brown and dark purple colorway. Ooh. And the other one is, like, a neon orange with, like, magenta.
Oh my god.
And I was going to pair them together to do some kind of, like, I was thinking, like, colorwork mittens. Mm-hmm. But I don't know, how would single ply hold up with mittens?
I feel like in colorwork it holds up fine. I'm trying to think. I feel like I've used single ply for colorwork at some point, but it might have been for a hat. Oh, it was. I knit, I think it was called the Deep Woods 2 last year, and it's, Skeiny Dipping Yarns, and it was 2 single plies, and it held up so well, and it actually blocked out incredibly well and looks a lot nicer than my, like, plied color work, which is kind of funny. So I'll have to show that to you, because I'll probably wear it that weekend, and then you can decide if it's something you want to knit.
Is there a pattern that you've made, it's like one of your favorite patterns that you've knit over and over again?
Yes, I think so. Back in the day, it was the Color Affection. I don't know if you ever knit that or if you remember that.
I know I've heard of it, and I know
it was Vera Valimaki, I want to say the designer was. And basically, it's like 3 skeins of fingering weight yarn, and you just kind of, like, do these short rows. So it's like just this huge crescent shaped shawl, and it was,
I think I might have knit it, actually.
I feel like everybody knit it, I swear. Like, it's got, like, 20,000 projects on Ravelry. It's crazy.
I'm gonna...
You have to look
let's
this one
see
up.
Let's see if I have. I'm so horrible with, like, the names of, like, patterns and the designers. Like, I am not good.
I know. I will, like, be able to picture something, but then most of the time I won't be able to tell you the name or the designer or both. Like, it's so bad. But besides that, I knit the sock head hat a lot too, because it was another good, like, use up a random skein of sock yarn kind of pattern.
Okay, well, this is bad because I took a picture of it, of me wearing it, and this is back March 30th of 2016.
Oh my god.
So this could be it, and this couldn't be it. Let's see if you can see it.
It looks like it.
Could that be it?
It looks like it. Because she has a couple patterns that are similar, but that looks like the color affection.
Probably is.
Yeah. See, so you've made it.
Are there eyelets in it?
No. So maybe not.
I don't know if there's eyelets in this one either, though.
It looks like it because the stripes are just, like, super thin like that. Like, you just knit 2 rows and then you switch to a different color.
Huh. I wonder. I think the pattern that I've made the most, it's the fluid sockhead hat.
Oh, is that just...
I think it's Katie McCall. Is
Okay.
it Katie McCall? And it's like just like a floppy, slouchy hat that has like a brim, like a double brim.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. I don't know what the technical term is for it.
Yeah.
Um,
I've knit that one so many times.
Yeah, that's my favorite because it's just like so easy to wear. You don't have to like position it on your head and it just you know go with it.
Yeah. Plus, it's a good stash buster for those skeins, like the one-off
single
sock
skeins.
skeins. Yeah.
Yeah,
I know.
That's why, like, I'm not a designer, but like, I think whoever could come up with really good single skein hats, like, that would be awesome because then, like, we could get rid of so many of our single skeins from our stashes.
Exactly.
But then again, like, correct me if I'm wrong because I think I'm right. If you double your fingering, it's a worsted or a DK?
It's a worsted.
Okay, well, then I guess you could find worsted weight hats and just use them. But would you have enough yardage at like 200 or 400 yards? So 200 yards for fingering?
Probably.
No.
Yeah. Because I think usually, like, that's why I don't feel as bad about buying single skeins of worsted or DK anymore because I've been knitting so many hats and I usually get away with one skein for one hat, like, but I won't do something like a crazy long folded brim or anything, but yeah.
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah.
Something to look into.
Woo-hoo.
So I was gonna show my newest fabric acquisitions.
Yes.
So I just went to Joann's the other day and they had like a huge sale section. So I walked away with this from the sale section. So it's like I think it's outdoor fabric, like upholstery fabric, but it was only like $6 a yard. So I was like, ooh, like that will be awesome for a little project bag, and it's sturdy and it's it has the feeling to it is actually, like, I think kind of nice. It's, like, almost slippery in a way, though, too. So I got this, little jellyfishies.
I love it.
And then this is my favorite one. This, I probably got too much yardage, but I couldn't help it because I liked it so much.
Yes.
Super bright sprinkles.
Oh, my gosh.
So.
It is so cute.
Yeah, so I don't know if I'm going to use them in lining of bags or just make a whole bag of sprinkles.
That would be amazing. Do it.
I don't think you can. I don't think you can go wrong. So I think maybe a whole bag of sprinkles will be it.
Well, that would be perfect to complement. Because didn't Leah have the candy corn bag that she was using?
Well, the candy corn bag was just like a plastic bag that she got her Franken socks kit in. Okay. So it was just like a plastic, like, goodie bag almost.
Oh, see, I kept thinking it was a project bag, so I'm like, oh, that would be so perfect. Like, pair that. Oh, they have to have candy corn fabric.
I don't even really like candy corn, but I was like, it made me want candy corn.
Right?
Same with sprinkles. Like, I like the looks of sprinkles, but are they kind of pointless, kind of, in a way.
Like, they're kind of chalky and kind of odd, like, if you're eating ice cream, but they're so cute at the same time.
The lady at the cutting counter was like, oh my god, I love sprinkles, and I was thinking to myself, not to be rude, but, I was like, oh, okay. Like, agreeing, but I was thinking at the same time, like, sprinkles of all things?
Yeah. I know what you mean.
But I know this is okay, really random, but I feel the need to share this.
Yes.
Right now, we are having, today's the last day, but a pretty big golf tournament in my hometown. So it used to be the Buick Open. Like, I think it was 10 years ago. I used to work at the golf course that hosted the Buick Open, but since then it like went away, and now it's back with, it's called the Ally Challenge, and it's a senior tour. So, you know, the older people are playing, but I went out there today and I was like, well, let's make this a little fun. So I basically bought like a whole bunch of candy out there, and like I had like, you know, just like a whole bunch of candy, and I was like carrying it around eating it. And guess who I ran into while I was eating all my candy?
Who?
My dentist of all people. And I was like, oh, great. Like, he's going to think I'm the worst person ever. And I was like talking to him, and, you know, my brother was standing next to me and my boyfriend was on the other side of me. And I was like, well, I'm not going to be rude. And I go, doctor, do you want some candy? And my brother and I walked away, and my brother was like, oh my God, Chelsea, you would do that. And I was like, well, what was, you know, like, what else are you going to do? But he was like, you're offering your doctor candy. And I was like, I'm sure he eats candy.
I was going to say, I'm sure dentists eat sugar too.
Yeah, but as soon as I did it, I was like, great. Like, I do
goodness.
stuff like that all the time where I'm like really embarrassed by the things I say.
After the fact.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, like I had on Friday, like I wait tables, and on Friday we were pretty busy because of the tournament. It brings in lots of people, like lots of people. And I was waiting on these two gentlemen, and I said, oh, are you here for the tournament? And they said, yes. And I was like, oh, like, where did you come in from? Thinking they were just like spectators.
Yeah.
And I was looking at the guy, talking to the one guy, and he was like, oh, like Arizona. And I said, what? You came here for this tournament all the way from Arizona?
Yeah.
And I was like, and he was like, I'm a caddy for one of the professionals. And I was like, oh God, like now I feel like a big jerk. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay. And then I asked him, I was like, well, who's the professional? And the guy sitting across from him in the booth was like, hi, my name is Ken. I'm the professional. And I was like, again,
no.
in the mouth. Like,
yeah,
I felt like such an idiot.
It's like, with stuff like that, unless you're like a crazy like golf fanatic, how are you supposed to know? Honestly?
I don't know.
Yeah.
But it was embarrassing again.
What if they start watching our podcast and they're like, we
yeah.
were professional in the caddy.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
But it was funny to say the least.
Yeah.
Let's just put there.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
Entertaining for everyone else.
Yeah.
But is there anything else you'd like to share? Anything happened in your week that was embarrassing to you?
Nothing embarrassing, but I do have some acquisitions that I got.
Ooh, can't wait.
So I went to the only like kind of local yarn shop that I really enjoy going to, and it's like an hour drive, so it's not that local, but it's called Knit New Haven. And they just got an order of Primrose yarn in, so I got a skein because last year her booth was so crazy at Rhinebeck. I'm like, I don't know if I'll actually get a chance to make it in and get a color that I want. So I picked up the skein. It's called Rosé, and it's just like all these like mauves and pinks, and it's got like a little bit of like orange speckle in there, but it's so pretty. And it's her DK weight, so it's like I think 247 yards, so I'll probably knit a hat. So we'll see. But I know I texted you last week as soon as we were done podcasting. I was like, okay, you and Leah are both knitting with this color, and now I'm obsessed with it, so I have to get it too. So I ordered a sweaters quantity of the Malabrigo Valatina, so it's like just stunning. I love it.
Isn't
so
it
much.
so pretty?
Yes, it is, and the yarn itself, I haven't knit with Rios in so long, but I forgot how much I love it. Like, it's so soft and squishy and amazing and
affordable.
Yes, super affordable. I think
Yeah.
Might have spent $50 because I had a coupon, so I spent like $50 to get all this yarn. Not bad at all.
Yeah, and so is yours more purple or is yours more pink? Because mine's more pink.
Mine, it's hard to tell in this lighting, but it leans a little bit more pink, but it still gives me those like lilac vibes. Like it's like a very pale lilac.
Because I really had to dig through like at my yarn shop to find ones that were all on the pink side instead of like the purpley.
Yeah. I don't know. I wish they had it local so I could have like seen, but at least the colors that they sent me, they seem to be all within the same kind of dye lot.
That's good. Yeah.
We'll see. But I think that's going to grow up to be the lemongrass pattern by Joji Locatelli. I know we were talking about that too.
Yes.
I love that
pattern.
I
can't wait. Yeah. I'm just excited, I think, for the buttons.
Yes. And
like,
that's going to be my
buttons that you pick will, like, make it, like, so good. Right. Like, I was telling you, the abalone buttons would be so cute because they're kind of, like, pearly looking, and that color would be, like, so pretty.
Yeah. So I'm excited. That'll be on my Rhinebeck shopping list for sure. I have to...
The button lady!
Yeah, it's the button lady. I cannot wait. So, but yeah, besides that, I mean, that made the week pretty good because lots of yarn. I just have to... I feel like... Now you gotta cool it. I know, I was gonna say, we have to go on a yarn diet before Rhinebeck. We've got a month. We gotta be good.
Yeah. I've been really good though. Like I probably have only bought this entire year. Well, okay. I forgot I bought that yarn for that sweater. Yeah. I probably bought, like, not counting that, which was 6 skeins, I think. Maybe like 6 other skeins of yarn total.
That's not bad at all.
That's, I think, really good.
Yeah. That is super impressive.
Uh-huh.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So you should celebrate at Rhinebeck.
I should.
Yes.
I agree.
I have not been that good this year. I don't know, like, I think I get scared sometimes because I feel like in the summer my knitting mojo goes away. And so I overcompensate and buy a bunch of yarn to get myself excited to start knitting again. And I do this every year. Like, I won't knit for, like, a month. And then I'm like, oh, my gosh, like, I got to start knitting again. And then I just, like, spend more than I should on yarn and order a bunch of stuff. But this year I have been good about knitting basically everything that I've purchased. So either that or it's, like, in the queue of things. Like, I'm knitting all these stuff, like, these sweaters for Rhinebeck. So I'm like, okay, once I'm done with that, now I have all these other sweaters that I want to knit and...
Yeah. I think, like when my Rhinebeck the first year, so 2 years ago, from that whole stash that I bought, I think I only have 1 sweater quantity left with that.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
So that's pretty good.
Yeah.
And then my last year, I think I have 1 sweater quantity and maybe like 3 other single skeins left.
That's really good.
So for how much yarn I actually bought, it's really good.
Yeah. See, and I think that's the most important thing. It's not necessarily, like, how much yarn you buy, but as long as you're using it instead of just, like, building your stash, which is also, there's nothing wrong with building a stash, but it's good. I feel like that's a good, like, personal goal to set, is try to knit through most of your Rhinebeck purchases from the previous year by the time you get the next one.
Definitely.
Definitely. Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that's all I have for today's podcast.
Same.
Anything else you want to share?
No, I think that's everything. It's been a good
week. We were in the talks of doing a giveaway, but I believe we're going to do that through Instagram.
Yeah.
So if you want to follow us on Instagram through our podcast name, it's the Sunday Morning Knitters. On that, do we have a Ravelry group yet?
So we're in the process of setting up the group, so we just have to add our banners and everything, and then we'll get that going, and we can open up the threads there too. So
perfect. So yeah, follow us on the Sunday Morning Knitters on Instagram, and you'll see our giveaway information probably within the next couple of days.
Yes.
So it's exciting. All right. Well, have a good night, and I will see you next week.
See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.